Hey everyone, this is NoriFire. I just kind of want to make this video in honor of Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump, and many other wonderful series and characters. And as you probably already know, he passed away on March 1st of 2024 and came at great shock, for pretty much many of us and me included. And I just kind of want to make this video for, an honor for him, and as well as for all of you who really love him and really care about his series and just everything about his creations, the characters and the worlds he has made. But yeah, guys, I haven't posted any videos in quite a while, so I do apologize for that. Life is kind of busy for me and over the past several years, and yeah, it's just hard to, find time to make videos sometimes. And my wife and I just moved into a new house just recently, not too long ago. And so it's just kind of, prioritizing things. And so, but I'm planning to make some videos, Dragon Ball related videos, specifically, in the coming weeks, hopefully, if I can, get everything organized. Good. I have a friend who wants to work with me on some of them. So, I hope that we can do that hopefully very soon. But in this case, I really wanted to make this video after hearing the news, and this is really hard, very hard for me to hear when I heard about it. I didn't know. I was kind of dumbfounded, and I was speechless, and kind of the point where I just babbling, just nonsense, because I didn't know what to think, because it was just like, what the heck? How can this be, Like, why? He was only 68 years old. That's so young. I thought he had many more decades left before he eventually would pass. But when his time is time, I guess. So that's just how it is. So, but of course, this video, it's like right now, as you can tell, like I'm kind of lost for words, and just like many of you, and I've watched many other people on YouTube who've made videos similar to this, and I can tell it affected everybody, and everyone's been affected by this, especially those who love his series and love everything about what he's done for his fans and for the world, with his creations. And so I kind of want to I want to make this video kind of more of an uplifting one, in a sense. Like, I don't like, of course, there's a time for mourning, and there's a time, to laugh. There's a time to play, all that stuff. But I feel like in this time, I think it's good to kind of also talk about all the good things, and just make it a very uplifting kind of experience for everyone. And I kind of want to do that with this video. I've had a couple of days to kind of really stew this over, and even still, my mind's still kind of a mess trying to figure things out. But I feel like I have enough, focus, in a sense, in my mind now to kind of really talk about my feelings and kind of talk about my experiences with Dragon Ball personally. But first of all, I want to give my condolences to Toriyama's family and his close friends and anyone who knew him. I'm really so sorry for your loss, and I know it's hard to lose someone you care about and who's made an impact in your life. And I know I personally have lost many people who I knew personally and who I love very much, and it's never easy, but you got to keep moving on, and everything will be okay in the end, and they're in a better place. So anyway, I kind of want to focus this video on Dragon Ball specifically, because Dragon Ball is my all-time favorite series, and I kind of want to talk about Dragon Ball and kind of talk about how that affected my life personally, and how, Akira Toriyama has made influence in my life through his work. I never met the guy. I never knew him, but I always wanted to meet him. I told my wife that I hope one day, if I was lucky enough, I would run into him one day. But yeah, that was probably a small chance to begin with, but yeah, she just kind of laughed at me. It's like, good luck with that, honey. But yeah, Dragon Ball is my all-time favorite series. I love it so very much. It really has been my life. It's my favorite thing, really, like when it comes to media and other stuff like that. That's my all-time favorite series. It's my favorite manga, my favorite anime, video game series. I just love it. So I love everything Dragon Ball. Mostly, yeah. I really, yeah, I remember, as a child, I grew up watching Dragon Ball when I was very young. And before it even really aired and got popular in America, I remember getting some merchandise from my grandmother, who, by the way, she's from Japan originally, and just a few days ago we celebrated her 95th birthday. And yay, she's still strong as an ox. Yeah, she came home from Japan visiting family and brought home some merchandise, and this one particular item she gave to us was this handkerchief. And this is during the time when the Buu Saga was just, it was showing already in Japan, and obviously not in America just yet. So I had no idea what it was, who those characters were. As I got older, I just remember wondering, like, who are these characters? I just remember seeing a Super Saiyan Goten and Trunks. This is before I knew who they were. They were Super Saiyan. Then Gohan in the back is a Super Saiyan holding the Z sword, wearing his Supreme Kai outfit, and Majin Buu, the fat one, in the background yelling. And at the time, I had no idea, like, who are these characters? Why is there a big fat baby in the background? I have no idea what was going on. But it looked cool. I loved it. It was so cool. It's still hanging up in my parents' house, in a closet, in a wall. So as time went on, obviously, like, I remember coming home from school every day to go turn on Toonami. If you're from America and we grew up in the early 90s and in the early 2000s, the 90s and the early 2000s, like, Toonami, very popular show that showed a bunch of anime and cartoons, and it really popularized Dragon Ball and many other anime franchises. And Dragon Ball, as you know, really pretty much made America really more into anime and animation like that in general. So I remember coming home from school in the late 90s, early 2000s, running home to get home from school so I can watch Dragon Ball. The new episodes were coming on. I loved it. I remember I tried to hurry up and finish my homework, or I just botch my homework just so I can watch Dragon Ball, because I wasn't allowed to watch Dragon Ball or any TV until I got home, finished my homework. But anyway, I remember watching new episodes, and it was so fun. I loved it. I remember trying to go Super Saiyan in the backyard, pretending to be Super Saiyan, flying around, trying to teleport, and you name it. I've done it all. Yeah, I got grounded many times for doing those things. So acting out some things, but yeah, I remember I had an uncle in Japan. He sent us trading cards and other things sometimes every so often. And one time I remember he sent a bunch of Dragon Ball Z cards, and it had pictures of characters and other scenes from the shows, and is obviously just clips from the show from Dragon Ball Z. And it had a description on the back written in Japanese and Japanese. And even though my grandma's from Japan, I never got to learn Japanese, really, just some words, but especially I didn't know how to read it, especially back then. But so it had all these pictures, and it was really cool. And I remember this one particular moment when the Cell Saga was first airing in America. I remember when Cell's introduction happened, I got so excited. There was a mystery, this creature coming out of the time machine, like hiding around like that and stalking the town and eating all the people. It's like, oh, this is so cool. I don't know who this monster is. I'm looking through all the cards that I had. I'm like, oh, maybe it's this guy here. I thought it was a picture of Super Saiyan Trunks, like when he was fighting Cell in his perfect form, when he was in his grade 3 form, Trunks. And I thought, oh, it kind of looks like him when I was seeing his silhouette in the scene where he's walking in the alleyway before it shows his reveals Cell when he's in Ginger Town. And I remember like when I first saw Cell like in his first form, oh my gosh, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that thing? That's not what I'm seeing in these cards. It looks like him, but it doesn't. It's weird. And I remember I felt my stomach just drop to my feet. It just felt like that, like this thing is freaky. And then of course when he absorbed that man, that just set it for me, like, okay, this guy's freaking me out. I don't know if I want to keep watching this anymore. But of course I still watched it, and I just kind of covered my eyes every time he'd show up, at least until he transformed into his second form. But as funny as that, silly as that was, I was only 8 years old at the time. So I grew out of that pretty quick after a couple of years, but it was at least with Cell's first form. But in his first form, by the way, is my favorite form of Cell. But yeah, Dragon Ball really got me into so many things. I got into reading manga because of Dragon Ball. Started collecting those Shonen Jump magazines in the US. Back in middle school, I read Dragon Ball, of course, in there, and I collected many manga over the years. I have 200 plus copies at the moment as of the recording of this video. Figurines, posters, and I even have this really cool little knit picture. I don't know what you want to call it. It was like, anyway, it was a really cool picture of the three Super Saiyans and Piccolo's hiding in the corner. Sorry, the four. I'm sorry, I can't even count today. But anyway, yeah, my house is decked out in Dragon Ball stuff, and my wife puts up with it, and she's a trooper. But she also grew up with Dragon Ball too a little bit. My wife's from the Philippines originally, so she didn't have cable back then, but really, so she got to see Dragon Ball here and there. So, but her brother and her brother-in-law actually would sneak out of school early so they could run home or run to a place that could actually had a Dragon Ball, so they can watch Dragon Ball, because they thought it would they thought they would never air on TV again. But as you probably would have guessed, it aired multiple times on reruns for several years after that, after their first airing in the Philippines. But yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff. And yeah, Dragon Ball really has, looking back on those times as a kid and even as an adult, I look back and realize how much I really looked up to the characters. A lot of those characters, like, in many ways, they had a lot of characteristics I really admired. Of course, they're not perfect characters, obviously, but I learned a lot, and there's the good characteristics of each character that I saw in them. I really took that to heart and applied that a lot of those good qualities into my own life in many ways. As silly as that may sound sometimes, but I really I got into weight training and martial arts because of, in Dragon Ball, I kind of had the idea of never giving up, like when it comes to when times are tough, you don't give up, you don't quit like Goku. When you start to lose hope, that's like that. You think of Future Trunks, who never gave up hope, and he just kept fighting to save his own future, things like that. I really admired a lot of the elements in the show. There's a lot of good things in the series that I really admired, and their characters, and I really applied that to myself even as an adult. Looking, I still try to work out hard at the gym. I think of myself, I got to keep stronger, got to get better. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better husband, a better citizen. Just trying to be a better person. And it's all because of Dragon Ball, and in this case, Toriyama. He created these characters. He created this world, and because of him, I have a childhood that I'm so happy I had, and even as an adult, I'm so happy that I had Dragon Ball, and I still have Dragon Ball in my life, and I'll still love Dragon Ball forever. And I look forward to the future of Dragon Ball. I know that he may not be here with us right now, but I know that there will be a lot of amazing Dragon Ball content to come. I know it won't be the same because, his hand may not be in it per se, but this is his world and his characters, and I personally hope and pray that Shueisha, Toei, and any other company that puts their hands and involved in his work like that will give him the respect and try that it deserves, as well as any other series that Toriyama has had his hand in and worked on or created. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this video now, but I just want to give my thanks to you all for listening to this video and just listening to me ramble. I appreciate you guys and your patience with me and my speech and just kind of like fumbling around with my thoughts and words, because this is just like many of you, this has really been a hard past few days trying to figure this out and kind of deal with this, the shock of all this. But thank you again, guys. I appreciate it for those who stuck through this whole video. But I hope and pray that you guys are all doing well and that your lives will be strengthened and and that you'll be able to overcome anything that you're facing. Be strong like Goku. Be determined like Vegeta, and as well as be like Trunks, future Trunks, having that hope, knowing that there's a better future coming for you and your loved ones. But Akira Toriyama sensei, I hope you may rest in peace. I hope you will rest in peace, and that you will know that of our appreciation for you and for everything you've done for us. And I really pray that your loved ones will be protected and watched over, and they'll be able to be strengthened in your absence. May you rest in peace, Sensei, and know that your work will continue to go forward and that your legacy will continue. Thank you again, everyone. I hope you all will have a good day, and God bless. Catch you again next time.